end you've agreed. So, with the speech entitled Trick or Treat, please welcome James Burke. Outside, the atmosphere was sinister. Fog had descended earlier in the day, and now it was the turn of the darkness. Cars were honking their horns in the evening rush hour as diligent workers returned home to their loved ones. In the home at 24 Goldman Place, Kathy Bates and her daughter were sitting at home beside a roaring log fire. Kathy was a single mum who had divorced from her husband earlier in the year after an argument about their daughter. Susie was 5 years old. She had a bubbling personality, frizzy blonde hair and sparkling green eyes. "Do you know what tonight is?" Kathy asked. Susie's eyes lit up instantly. She clearly knew exactly what tonight was. "It's Halloween, Mummy," she said. "Did you decide what you want to dress up as?" "Yes, Mummy," giggled Susie. "I want to be a scary ghost." Kathy went into the bedroom and pulled out a large white bedsheet. She then took it into the kitchen, picked up a pair of scissors and cut 2 small holes in the sheet so that the ghost could see where it was going. And she put the sheet over Kathy's head so she could see. "It's perfect, Mummy, thank you," giggled Susie. An hour later, Kathy went into the kitchen again. This time she went to the cupboard and from the highest shelf she reached out and pulled out an evil-looking pumpkin that she had carved earlier in the day while Susie had been at school. She took the lid off the pumpkin, inserted a candle, lit it with a match and put the lid on. "Did you dress up warm?" she shouted up the stairs. "It's time for us to go trick-or-treating." "Yes, Mummy," said Susie as she drifted down the stairs. "Let's go." Outside, the mist was still covering the ground, and now the witches and goblins and ghosts were starting to gather. The door slammed behind Kathy, and she felt a shivering breeze. The jack-o'-lantern almost blew out. They started at the very next house. Susie rang the doorbell, and an elderly woman with blue-rinsed hair and glasses at the end of her nose answered, and she gave her some lollipops. At the next house, Kathy knocked on the door, and a middle-aged man with middle-aged spread answered. We gave her some chocolate and mice. And as they proceeded down the street, Susie became more and more confident. "Mummy, can I go up some doors by myself?" Susie asked. Kathy said yes, but she would stand on the road and keep watch. So Susie went off to the first house, and Kathy was watching. Kathy's friend, Jill, came along. Her son was dressed as a pumpkin, and they started talking about the upcoming school trip. Kathy became distracted. She looked around, and behind her she sees a little ghost coming towards her. She puts out her hand and says, "Come here, it's time for us to move on." And they say their goodbyes to Jill. They start walking down the road, and they haven't got more than 100 yards when they hear a yell. "Oi! What do you think you're doing?" the voice shouts. "Sorry, what's the matter?" Kathy says. The man speaks again. "That's my son there," he said. Kathy said, No, don't be silly. That's my daughter, Susie." The man was clearly very excited, and he ripped the sheet from the child, revealing underneath a young boy. Kathy's knees turned to jelly, and she sunk to the floor. "I'm so sorry," she says. "But where's my baby? Where's my baby? Where's Susie?" She starts to run up the street, back towards the houses, as fast as her jelly-like legs can carry her. "Susie! Susie! Where are you?" she's crying out. But Susie's nowhere to be seen. She decides she needs to knock on the doors of the houses where Susie had gone trick-or-treating. And as she goes up to the first door to knock, something catches her eye to the right-hand side. And she turns around and sees a ghost coming around the corner. "Susie, is that you?" she says. "Yes, Mummy," says the ghost. "It's me. This nice man here, he said he had a really nice surprise for me. I had to go inside the house to get it. But I'm okay now. Can we go home? I'm tired." Kathy hugged Susie, and Susie hugged Kathy back. And together they walked hand in hand back to their house. Susie was following her mummy inside the front door, and Kathy slumped on the sofa. It was getting late, and it was time for Susie to go to bed. As Susie starts to ascend the stairs to the bedroom, another chilling breeze comes through an open window, and it blows out the candle inside the jack-o'-lantern. A plume of smoke drifts slowly towards the ceiling, and the lights start to flicker. When Susie gets to the top of the stairs, she turns around and simply says, "I love you, Mum." And she turns back around and walked straight through the wall into the bedroom and vanished.